Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for being here today. And as you can see, we have one-of-a-kind program for you. And it's so one-of-a-kind that I'm not going to be talking a lot. I'm going to be passing over the microphone over to Lance so he can introduce the program. And let's give a big round of applause to our presenters. But Lance is going to be saying something, but let's welcome them with a big round of applause.
Well, good afternoon. We're here to present yoga. Now, yoga is a system of spiritual practice, but some just know it as an exercise program that increases flexibility, balance, and strength. And for seniors, because I'm a senior, it can be a practice that improves mobility and stability. And these are two things that we really don't want to lose at this stage of life. My name is Lance. This is Gina, Harriet, and Jody. In our presentation, it's going to be a little bit different. It's not your typical yoga presentation. And we're here, our goal is to get you interested in yoga. So we're going to be doing a variety of things. We'll just have to see as the program unfolds. And perhaps some of you will even be daring enough to try a yoga class. We'll tell you a little more about how you might do that. We're also here to show a different way of doing yoga. And combines the elements of music and dance and connection with each other. So, let us begin. They just like to play with the bowls. Okay, here we go. I think I pushed the wrong button. These aren't smartphones. I did not figure them out. Oh, it's the wrong music. yoga dancing. So what we've done is we've combined traditional yoga poses, or asanas as they're called for those of you who speak Sanskrit, and we've synchronized it with music and with each other. So yoga is known as a connection of mind, body, and spirit. And we've added the elements of music and made it a group activity as well. Well, you're probably curious about each of us, so we're going to tell you a little about our story about why we do yoga. I was motivated to start while caring for my father and mother, still caring for my mother, about 7 years ago. And I noticed that losing mobility and stability was a real problem. And so about 6 years ago, I decided that I would commit to taking a lot of exercise classes to try to maintain those elements so that I could enjoy the quality of life, whether it was long or short. I wanted to not have my body be a distraction. So I started yoga classes about a year and 3 months ago when I was 67. So there's still hope for people who have never done it. You can always start at any time, and I'm really enjoying it and have reaped a lot of benefits from it.
I also want to say that Lance is the choreographer. So make sure he gets his credit. I came to yoga many years ago, and I took a hiatus, I would call it. For some time, I was involved more with the Tai Chi and Qigong, but I've been so blessed to have such wonderful teachers, my two teachers here, Jody and Gina, and I also have made wonderful new friends through yoga.
My name is Jody, and I started doing yoga about 10 years ago, I think, because I have a low back problem, and I've had it all my life, and my chiropractor recommended yoga. And I can say that if I do it consistently and don't let up on it and don't do too much, it really helps with my back. But I can still have lower back problems. But yoga definitely prevents, I have much less than I used to. I also appreciate very much the spiritual side of yoga. And I meditate every morning, which I consider to be part of my yoga practice.
Hi, I'm Gina. I've been practicing yoga for about 25 years now, and as I age gracefully, my practice changes. What brought me to the yoga mat was I was working at a house club, Carmel Valley Athletic Club, and the teacher who was teaching got injured, and I was asked to fill in for him. I wasn't really certified as a yoga teacher, but I'd been working in fitness. And immediately I felt this sense of this is what I need to do, and I need to share it with people. And so I went on to get my teacher training and so on. And yoga is just a part of my life. I can't imagine my life without it. It's the best thing that I think I do for myself. It keeps me well in my physical body, my mental state, and my spiritual connection with my true self. I recommend it for people of all ages. My oldest that I train with is 93.
So, let's talk about some of those benefits of yoga, and we'll demonstrate to you. We won't make you do any of it right now, but your time will come. Okay, well, flexibility. We all hear about yoga flexibility. So, let's do some flexibility poses.
Okay, switch sides, everybody.
I can't switch my side.
Got to do both sides. And release.
Along with flexibility is an increased range of motion.
Start. Deep breath, open up your heart center. Exhale, turn to your right. Inhale, come back to center. Palms together. Exhale, turn as you open to the left. Come back to center. Arms up. And exhale.
And of course, balance.
Okay, first side. Focus your gaze. You have to choose a point of focus for your gaze in the balance poses. It really helps. And ground your standing foot. And release. And switch to the other side. Don't forget to focus your gaze. And release.
And what's a demonstration without a yoga presentation without a demonstration of strength? We will have the incredible Gina. Stand back. Okay. We're not going to make this easy for her.
Watch out, Gina.
Okay. Got it?
Got it.
All right, stand there.
How many pounds?
20.
28 or 10?
We're not telling. And emotional calmness in times of stress. And last but not least, friendship. You'll meet new friends. Okay. So, I think you're starting to get interested in practicing yoga. So where do you start? How about right here at the foundation? There are I'm going to let, because Jody teaches at the foundation, tell us about the foundation classes.
Yeah, we have 3 classes a week, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 8:30 a.m. to 9:30 up here in the office area.
Blanchard A.
Yeah. And Lynn Geisen teaches Monday and Friday, and I teach on Wednesdays. And if you're brand new to yoga, we can bring in a chair for you. And you can start with a chair and maybe gradually make it to the floor. So feel free to come and check us out. Actually, I know my class has room to grow. I'm not sure about Lynn's.
Could you demonstrate something with the chair
We're going to, yes.
You're going to have to do it. So it's a optional participation, so that's coming. Now,
My class is on Wednesdays, 8:30, upstairs here.
and related to that, in a really great way to approach yoga, Harriet also teaches Qigong here. When do you do that?
Actually, today at 11:30.
She's a great teacher. Also, I study with her and highly recommend her.
What is Qigong?
You'll have to come and see.
We'll
We're
talk
doing
after.
yoga today.
It's yoga day today.
And Gina, where do you teach?
I teach at Carmel Yoga Center by the Sunset Center on Thursday mornings at 9:15. The Monterey Sports Center Monday, Wednesday at 7 a.m. for the early birds. And then Carmel Valley Athletic Club at 7 a.m. on Tuesdays. And I do private people and retreats.
Right. Some of you, now there are other classes, but sometimes it's a little intimidating. So both Jody and Gina can do private lessons, and they can adapt them specifically for your needs and your level, rather than thrown in with a bunch of people and maybe seems like they're doing stuff that's a little too hard. So that's a good way to start with maybe a couple of private lessons, and then find that class that suits your level. Now, right here in Carmel, there's also the Yoga Center of Carmel in the Sunset Center complex, and Gina teaches there, as you mentioned that. And the Sports Center, where Gina and Jody both teach, there are other yoga classes as well. There are several other yoga studios, but you'll have to Google them and find them, but they're all over the place. Now, you don't have to be young and supple to do yoga. You can even do a limited version of it from a chair. Or you can stand and use that chair for support. You'll still gain benefits of increased flexibility, range of motion, more strength, and better balance. Now, a yoga session begins by sitting in a comfortable seat and clearing your minds of distractions. Focus on the breathing as a method of calming the mind. And by keeping the breathing steady and strong, we gain that life force energy that the intake of oxygen brings. And that gives us the energy to do these poses and transitions, because if we hold our breath, it just doesn't work. So now it's time for you to do yoga. So Jody is going to lead us all in some breathing exercises, followed by Gina by yoga in a chair.
So if you would please sit up tall at the edge of your seat. Come away from the back of the chair so that you're really using your back muscles to support your spine, and you're sitting up nice and tall. It helps to tilt the pelvis forward slightly to do this. Imagine that there's a cord attached to the crown of your head, and it's pulling up, elongating your spine. So your posture is nice and tall. Relax your shoulders away from your ears, and begin to breathe deeply and slowly through your nostrils if you can. You might want to close your eyes. And simply breathe deeply in through the nostrils, and as you do so, allow your belly to draw away from the spine. As you exhale, feel your chest fall, and then feel your belly draw in slightly towards the spine. So you can feel that more easily. Place one hand on your belly and one hand on your chest. Now, as you inhale, feel your belly draw away from the spine, and then feel your chest rise on the second part of the inhale. As you exhale, feel your chest fall, and then the belly draw in. One more time. Inhale, the belly comes away from the spine, and then the chest rises. Exhale, the chest falls, and the belly draws in. Now release your hands and just take a couple of more deep breaths in that same manner. And just focus your mind on your breath and your breathing. And as we concentrate on the breath, hopefully our mind will quiet down. Even if there's a distracting noise, we can let it go. Or a distracting thought, we just let it go and return our focus to the breath. Breathing deeply and mindfully. And that prepares us to go into our chair yoga practice with Gina.
Thank you, Jody. I wonder, is everyone able to bend forward without getting the chair in front of them, do you think? Okay. All right. So staying in an upright posture and feeling your feet grounded and rooted into the earth. I'd like to invite you to move your body in a way that feels comfortable for you, and if there's anything I do that isn't comfortable, feel free to adjust or not do it. Okay? So we practice ahimsa in yoga, which is non-violence, non-harm to the body through our actions and through our words and what we do. Okay? So here we go. Let's inhale, the arms reach up. Exhale, bring the palms together to the heart center. This is seated prayer pose. Nice. Let's do that again, okay? Inhale, draw the arms up. Exhale, bring the palms back to the heart center. One more time, upward salute. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, back into the heart center. Good. So far, so good. Everybody, put your hands on your legs, on top of your thighs. We're going to do what I call the cat-cow, just to warm your spine. So as you exhale, reach for your knees and round your back a little bit, drop your chin. And then inhale, lift your chest, slide your hands back, and squeeze your shoulder blades together. Good. Exhale, reach for the knees, just round the back a little, drop the chin. Inhale, let's open it up here. Open that chest. Good. One more time. Let's exhale, round the back for the cat. And then inhale, slide and open that chest, and we'll pause here. All right, good. Place your hands on the side of the chair. This is a seated cobra. Essentially, you're going to hug the elbows in toward each other and lift the chest a little, or open the chest up as if you were reaching your heart forward and shining it. And you can lift the chin slightly if it feels okay. And then just breathe as you open up the front of the spine. Nice. This is a back bend. Now we'll release our back bend and we're going to take it into a forward bend. So we'll take our hands on our knees. We can open the legs a little bit wider if you want to, so the belly has a place to go. That's a nice way of saying it, isn't it? All right.
Go away.
And if you have high blood pressure and a forward bend, then you don't want to drop your head too low. So just be aware of that. Okay, so let's inhale the breath. And on the exhale, pull the tummy in just a little, bend from the crease of the hips, and extend your spine forward. And you can just go as far as it feels comfortable for you. Some of you, just coming down halfway will be enough. Others, you might want to bring your hands down to your ankles or to the floor. And if you don't have a high blood pressure issue, you can relax the crown of the head and let the top of the head come down, the back of the neck releases here. And enjoy the forward bend. Notice how it stretches your hips and your back. And as we come up, we'll do it mindfully. Everything is mindful. One hand on top of each thigh. We'll press down through the feet, pull the tummy in, and then slowly press your hands into your legs, and up you go. Now you might feel a little bit lightheaded, and that's because you brought some blood to your head, and actually it'll help make us all smarter when we get more blood up there to our head. So that's a good thing. Okay. Now we're going to do a side bend. We're going to open up our side body. Take your right hand. I'll do my left so I mirror you, and we'll all do our left. Place your left hand or your right hand to the center of your chair. Inhale, reach up with your left arm. Pull the tummy in a little and side bend over to your right, and make sure your bottom stays in the chair. Now breathe into the rib cage. Can you feel the rib cage open? That's beautiful. Everybody looks great. I wish I had a camera up here to show how beautiful you look. Release here and bring that arm down. Let's try the other side. Place your hand here. Inhale, reach up nice and tall. On the exhale, a little side bend over. And again, just listening to your body, not forcing yourself to go too far. And you're breathing here, opening up the side body for the diaphragm to have more space. Good. And up you go. And release. The last move we're going to do in the chair will be a twist. So you're seeing in yoga the different movements of the spine, and the last movement will be the twist. So bring the legs together. And let's have you place your right hand, and we'll do our left, everybody, across your thigh. And then wave your other hand at me. So this helps us so you know what we're doing. Reach up on the in-breath, get nice and tall. Exhale, reach for the side of the chair. Pull the tummy in a little and turn to your left as you rotate your spine. You're looking over your left shoulder. And breathing. You're kind of wringing out in a way. And then slowly rotate back to the middle. So now we're working with the internal organs here by rotating the spine, right? Let's do the other side. Everything in yoga has balance. Let's lift the arm up, reach tall. We want to sit up straight. And then exhale, reach for the side of the chair. Pull the tummy in just a little bit and start to rotate and look over your right shoulder. And breathe. And slowly return. What do you think? Now, we did every movement you can do with your spine, and the yogis say, and this is why yoga's been around for thousands of years, is that if you can keep your spine mobile and moving in all the directions, then that is what keeps you healthy, because all of your organs, you know, it stems from the spine and the nerves into the organs. So yoga, my friends, is really the best medicine. Namaste. Thank you. Good job. Everybody look great.
They look so beautiful
I know.
when they were flowing.
It's like a wave. Very nice.
Okay, our next dance is simply called Friends, or We Are Indeed Yoga Friends.
I want to thank all our friends that are here today supporting us in the group. We have some of our Yoga Sangha here, so thank you all for coming, supporting us. Yeah. And partners. Yeah. Got a little cranking.
Well, we've been doing all the talking, so now we're going to give you a chance to ask some questions, and we'll try to answer them as best we can. So don't be shy.
Over here?
I want to ask about the ear crystals. I have problems with the ear crystals getting out of the house, and I've been down like that. Do you modify retina plasmas for people who have problems?
Absolutely, absolutely.
Hearing aids, you mean? Hearing aids?
No,
Which
you
one?
won't hear
Vertigo.
Vertigo.
So when you go down, it gets things spinning. So then you would do poses that don't have you do that. There's other postures when it's warmed up. So if you were to do a little walking before, or bicycling, or whatever you do, yeah, it'll make it probably a little easier. Generally speaking, though, in every yoga class that you go to, there is a little warm-up period in the beginning. The teacher's doing certain moves to sort of open up the joints and getting things prepared. But I believe that the body is much more willing, the muscles are more willing to move when they're warmed up. And so that would actually give you a little, make it a little bit easier for you.
For those of you who didn't come early, you missed Gina leading us in a 10-minute warm-up session, because we did not want to just go right into it. So warming up is very important. I actually show up to classes 15 minutes early and do the first one warm-up, then do the instructor's warm-up, and then the more challenging.
And then you stay and do the next class, which is core yoga. Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
What is the biggest difference between yoga and Pilates?
Great question. Anybody want to answer that?
I am not a Pilates.
I know that, the answer to that. Pilates is really focusing on core and back work. And they have a machine called a reformer as well that they use. And the breathing is different also in Pilates. But they're both mind-body based forms of movement and practices. They're both very good, but they're very different too. That's the best answer I can give you. Do we have any Pilates people?
Well,
Maybe
I'm not
Lance?
I take Pilates, but I'm familiar that Pilates got his inspiration from yoga, that he had some problems with his own body and came across the yoga practice and realized that some of the movements.
Everybody's got something, right? Does anybody in here have something that is loud in their body? Yeah, so I can speak to that, and if anybody else wants to pipe in. For me, I try to offer level 1 or level 2 or variations, modifications for people so that they can, if, for example, a high lunge position here, some people maybe this is too much, you put 2 blocks down, maybe it's more accessible. We use the blocks, they're like extensions of your hand, so you offer variations that might suit people, and then you always tell people to listen to their body. And so if I say, oh, do this pose, it's really important for the practitioner, the students, to discern whether or not that's going to be good for them based on their history of, oh, I have this injury and this would not feel good to me. You have to listen to your body, because really we know what's going on with us truly, right? Yeah. So we are our own healers, really, and also we cause a lot of our own suffering by what we sometimes do to ourselves. So do you want to speak to that, or?
I think you said it all, Gina. I don't think I have anything to add to that.
I just want to add one thing. I think it's so important for everyone to feel good in their body. Because this is your house. This is where you live. And the principles of the yoga or the Qigong or the Tai Chi or the Pilates, they are resonating. They may look different, but they're saying the same thing. But the thing is, you need to do it. Like the Nike commercial. You need to do it. You can't just talk about it. You actually have to practice, and to be consistent with your practice. And then your body will become more pliable, more alive to you. So I really, really hope that you get that today.
What
poses would you recommend for people who are traveling?
Oh, that's a great question, isn't it, traveling? Well,
I have some ideas, but I want to give other people a chance.
No, we want to hear your ideas. You're our teacher.
Yeah. Okay. Very simple. You can use just about anything. You can use a counter. You can use a table. I'll demonstrate. You're traveling, you don't have whatever. You can just put your hands on the table, walk your feet back, bend your knees, take a nice little bend, stretch it out. You know, you can hold the table and just, you know, use different things when you're traveling, wherever you are, I've done yoga on an airplane. I did a long trip to Mexico. I couldn't sit in that chair anymore. I got up in the aisle and I started doing Warrior One, and I was, you know, and people were like, wow. But it's like, I felt great. I was breathing, I wasn't all compressed, you know how those chairs are. And so you could do yoga anywhere. I mean, even simply, I even tell people you're at the bank, you're waiting in line, you know, I'll do a standing back bend, cobra. You know, it's like, you can do yoga anywhere. And the best yoga pose of all is when you're traveling. And I always call it the potty pose. Do you know the one I'm talking about? Yeah. You don't want to sit on that toilet. You just come down and, you know, you get your legs strong that way. Just kidding.
I also want to mention that nowadays online, you can find classes for free, yoga classes, chair yoga or regular yoga. There's one site called Do Yoga With Me. It's out of Vancouver, and it has just beginning classes, intermediate classes, advanced classes. So if you're traveling or at home, you can go on your computer and voila, you have a class. It's pretty amazing.
Yoga online. Yeah. Yes.
So I always felt that I was pretty well coordinated, but I found the last few years that I knock things over and have become more clumsy. Do you think yoga would help with that? I mean, I don't understand it. I'll do something and I think, how did I manage to knock that over, or, you know, do something clumsy?
Yeah. Like Jody said earlier, this sense of awareness and focus that we get from the practice, I think, that would be my, you know, you're just more aware. It's not going to say that you may not drop something someday, but there's a heightened awareness, and yoga kind of slows you down a little bit, go a little slower, so that might be of help.
it's the mind-body-spirit connection. So when all of those things are connected in the moment, in the meditation, the present, you would be less apt to. But sometimes when we get distracted or rushed, we don't even aware, and so things shift. And that's when usually those things happen. So certainly I think it would help you, or any of us.
Snacks afterwards, some of us will, I think. And I know there's lots of questions, so we will enjoy continuing to talk.
There was one more question over here. You're fine?
Okay.
You want to tell them?
This is the Swan from Camille Saint-Saëns' Carnival of the Animals.
While Lance is doing that, I'm just going to add that in terms of being safe in the yoga room, also it's alignment. Is you're aware of where your body is in alignment, like the architecture of your body. So you might notice that we're all, for example, our knees are at a right angle, would be a good example. We're aware of that as we practice. We're not going to let our knee go, way over there. So, awareness of alignment.
No. Ring it again. Oh, who left the mute button on?
Sounds like you let the dog out. Muted that swan.
Side angle. Open revolve where you want. Arms to the center. Where you want. Tap in. Reach. Hands to heart.
So always at the end of a yoga class, you'll hear namaste. That's a Sanskrit term. In India, they rather than shake hands, they namaste. So namaste, we honor and salute the light within that connects all of us. So when you're in that place of love, of light, of peace, and of truth, and when I'm in that same place of love, of light, peace, and truth, then we are one. Namaste.
Namaste.
Thank you all.
Thank you, everyone. Please join us for